What's up everybody, Pete the Hybrid Guy here, and today we're going to look at 2008 Toyota Prius. But before we dive into this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ding the notification bell so I can keep creating killer content for you. In this particular episode, we're going to look at how to remove a driver's side headlight, which also consequently is going to show you how to remove the passenger side headlight, and we're going to look at a P0A93 inverter pump failure. And this is kind of a 2-for-1 video, so you get to see how to remove the headlight, and I'm going to show you how to remove and install a brand new hybrid water pump that is housed right under that headlight. Alright, so before we get started, any good project absolutely needs to have the right tools. Now, I've been in the automotive industry for over 15 years. I've collected some professional tools, but I'll show you the basics about what you need. One of my best little sets that I take around with me is this 3/8 set of ratchets, sockets, and wrenches from Tecton Tools. I'll leave a link in the description on where you can find these. But for the price and what you get, they're actually very quality. You can see I've got my Matco tools here, some Snap-on stuff, my very handy Makita drill, and some other screwdrivers and things like that. We're going to need all these different tools for various parts of this job. So make sure that you have some pliers on hand, a Phillips screwdriver and a regular screwdriver on hand as well, a couple different styles of pliers. And what you're going to need for this particular job, if you're doing the inverter pump, you're going to need a new pump. I'll leave a link in the description for that. I recommend using the original equipment pump because they last the longest. The aftermarket ones don't seem to work as well. And then if you're replacing the headlight, we're going to be taking the HID assembly out of this particular vehicle, and I'll show you kind of the differences between that. But for now, just know you're going to need some sockets, and if you have access to it, realistically all you're going to need is like a 10mm, and then your standard screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver, like I say, a couple of these pliers. I just have some variety out here, and anyway, these are the basic tools you need. All these links will be in the description of where you can find these tools. But enough about tools, let's dive into the project. Let's get this headlight pulled out and take a look and see where that inverter pump lies. Alright, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to walk you through what I'm going to do, and then I'm just going to speed up the process because I'm doing a little solo flight today. It's just me. I don't have my camera crew here with me, but I felt that this was a really important video to make. So enough about that. I'm going to walk you through what I'm going to do, and then I will actually go through and do that process, and we will look at the pump, the headlight housing, and everything in between. So what I do first is I'll take my flat tip screwdriver, which is this guy right here, and I'm going to pop up all of these clips like that. There's one there, there's one here, and there is one here. Okay, I'm going to pull all those out and set them aside in a safe place. Just set it right over here with my tools, and then I'm going to grab my Phillips screwdriver here. And I did say that I was going to do a little bit, I was going to do a what do you call that, time lapse? Yeah, but I'll pull these out, and then I'm going to show you the other key points of what we're going to do here, because it's very important. These next couple steps that we do are very important to making sure that you don't destroy the bumper. A lot of times when people dive into replacing a headlight bulb, or they need to do this water pump, you know, they end up trying to do it the easy way or the fast way, and they end up destroying the bumper cover, and we don't want to do that. So we've got those two clips out. That is going to allow this whole front part to pull off and set down. And then what we're going to do is come over here, and tucked right behind this inner fender liner is a 10mm. It's tough to see, there it is. Phillips head screwdriver to get that out. So I'm going to pull this out, then I'm going to drop the bumper down. And once I get that screw out here, you're going to gently pull, and all of this is going to pop out, okay, all along here. Let me give you a kind of a better angle here. All of this will pop out right here, and then we'll be able to pull this down. So let me get this situated, and I'll show you what we're doing. All right, so I've got my 10 mil is out of there, and what I'm going to do to remove this bumper is just pull. And it can be a little tough sometimes. It's going to pop off just like that. And check to make sure none of your tabs here are broken, and also the tabs that go on this bracket right here. If those tabs are broken, it's going to make it really difficult. See how this one's busted right there? It's going to make it difficult for this to sit back in nicely afterwards. So we're going to take and pop that out like so. Then you'll see right here, this is going to begin to drop down. We're going to come over and pull it away, and then we'll have access to a bolt there, a bolt here, okay? And then the other one we're going to take out is that one right there. And it's a little tough to see, but it's the one that's under this one, right there, okay? Once we do that, the whole headlight will come out, and then we can pull the headlight out and take a look at what's underneath. Now that we've pulled the headlight up and out of the way here, we're going to just take a look. This is the HID version, so we're going to just gently turn it around and take a look at what we're dealing with here. This is your headlight aiming position, so this will take the beam up or down. This is a section over here that's a left or right position where you could aim the headlight that way, but we're not really focused too much on this. If you needed to replace the light bulb in here, you would twist this open, take these connectors off, and what we'll do right now is just get these out of the way so we can take a look at our hybrid water pump here. These are always kind of a fun venture to get off sometimes, but sometimes what I do is I'll get some pliers, and then I'll just gently be able to squeeze on that. You don't want to squeeze too hard, otherwise you'll break the connector. Sometimes they just get stuck on there. Anyway, I'll have to do that because I only have one hand at the moment. But I'm just going to remove this out of the way, and then we're going to take a look at our water pump down there. All right, with everything up and out of the way, this is the inverter water pump that will trip a P0A as an apple 93 trouble code. Okay, P0A93 trouble code. It's very simple to replace this. You'll disconnect this connector right here. You'll remove 1, 2, and there's one right behind here, 3 little 10 millimeter bolts. Okay, and then you'll disconnect these 2 hoses. Now be careful right here because there's coolant in these lines. So there's a tool that I like to use. Let's walk over to my toolbox. You can get these on Amazon, you can get them at Harbor Freight, but these are line crimp tools. And what they do is they go on here like so, okay, and then slide them back like that, and they lock the line so coolant can't come out. So I'd put one on here, then I would release my clamps and I'd slide that off. That way I'm losing minimal coolant, and then I don't have to put as much in here afterwards. So if you have that particular code, swap out this pump. Again, there's these three bolts, the 1 connector, the 2 hose clamps there, and then we're going to put the headlight back in. Okay, that's one of the mounting points like you saw right here that's on that side. Then that upper mounting point here, which goes right there, and then this lower mounting point here, which is the one that sits right there. So my water pump is good. I'm not going to worry about it on this one. I just wanted to show that to you. So I'm going to go ahead and put this all back together, and we'll get this thing buttoned up. So there you have it. That's how you pull out a headlight. You can either change the headlight bulb while you're in there, or if, like I say, you're doing that inverter water pump. At this point, you just need to top off your hybrid reservoir, which is right there. Make sure you have the correct coolant. I'll put a link in the description below for you. But that's really it. Clear the trouble codes. Your AC should work again, and you should have no other problems, especially if you used an OE water pump. Thank you for watching today. This is Pete the Hybrid Guy, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.